Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. In this video, I'll prove definitively that the right wing is wrong when it comes to the root causes of poverty, and to a large degree, the left wing is wrong as well. And I'll do it in under 5 minutes. So first, I want you to picture 5 different people. One is a redneck who is complaining about the white race in this issue. He's looking at 4 other people, and he says, how come 1 in 4 of you is a criminal or has been locked up? He's looking at a young Captain America, a young Fred Flintstone. When I say young, I mean about 20 years old. He's looking at a young Al Bundy and a young Sandman who is a villain from the Spider-Man movies. So again, there's a racist person, an angry Republican, looking at 4 people. And he says, how come 1 in 4 of you is a criminal? And they're all 4 white people. Okay, 1 is a young Captain America, a young Fred Flintstone, a young Al Bundy, and a young Sandman, who was a villain in the Spider-Man movies. The answer is staring him in the face. And it has to do with 1 + 1 + 1 equaling 3. Or A + B + C = D. It's that simple. A, poor governance, especially in regards to the cost of food, the cost of housing, and jobs. Plus B, which is other problems that worsen poverty. For example, substance abuse, generational substance abuse, okay, and domestic violence, etc., and the environment it creates in the poor areas. Plus C, which is culture and dating, right? The lack of justice when it comes to dating. If a person has the right culture and the right upbringing, and they find a good teammate, a suitable helper, they can work together to afford housing and to afford a family, thus avoiding D, which is Section 8. So again, A + B + C = D. A is poor governance, B is other problems that worsen poverty, and C is culture and dating. These ideas, these groupings of ideas in regards to the idea that the variable is labeled. For example, A is labeled poor governance. Okay? Add up to equal D. Section 8 and the rate of the need that we see for Section 8. So they're trying to make it so I say it in a way that's confusing, okay, because they know that I'm right. Which goes back to poor governance. When your governance is so poor, when you're ruled by people who are so immature, so disgusting, so pathetic, their genes are so bad, they're bred so poorly as rich, privileged dogs and their allies, and people low enough to team up with them on a very, you might say, high level in society. It's really low, they're just scumbags of money. That they resort to doing psychological operations on humanitarians and their namesake, on the most righteous person that ever lived. Then you know that poor governance is the determinant. Bottom line, poor governance created the other problems that worsen poverty, and it also created the bad cultures that you see in society and the romantic injustice, that you see in society. A lack of justice in regards to dating. Okay, so the real reason that the right-wing Republican spoken of earlier was wrong is simple. A poor version of Fred Flintstone, a poor version of Captain America, a poor version of Al Bundy, they all do not face the same individual life circumstances as the Sandman, even though they're the same race.